Tom,
How are you, mate?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm excellent, mate. Now, I do not expect you to remember this because obviously it was a phone interview, but you and I spoke in 2020. You were one of the first, yeah, when I first hooked up with John Howarth, who's doing press for your Australian tour. So it's really nice to speak to you again. Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
Hey, whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm at home at the moment. We got a few days off.
Yeah, you live in a small town in Wales, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not far from Cardiff.
yeah. Ah, nice. How's it there at the moment? Is it nice?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, it's a bit cold, but it's supposed to be hotter than Ibiza this week coming. So
Ooh.
it's going to get a bit nicer.
Nice. Mate, obviously, you've been doing this project, Bastard Sons, with your sons for several years now, since pre-COVID. I think the first album was pre-COVID, if I'm correct.
Probably,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, like uh, in a nutshell, how have you seen the music world respond to this? Because I feel like there are a lot of people who, we have such lauded respect for Lemmy that they maybe felt that, when he passed, that they were never going to hear it again. But they seem to have responded well to you. How do you feel about it?
Well, we had the band together for 2 years before Motorhead finished.
Mm.
I was just on my downtime. I was just playing with my boys. We just did a few shows, like we do, like cover songs and things. And then when Lemmy sadly passed away, I don't know. I for about 4 months I didn't want to do anything at all, and I was going to retire, to be honest. And the boys said, "Oh, come on, Dad, let's go and do some shows." So we did a few shows, and we changed the name of the band and started writing our own material, and it's picked up really well you know from there. I mean, this year now we got like about 10 or 12 shows with Judas Priest. We got the O2 Arena in London with Priest and Alice Cooper, and we've done loads of shows with Guns N' Roses and stadiums and things. So it's gone really good, actually, and it's good to give something back to my kids because I've spent so much time away from them with Motorhead. So it's great that we spent a lot of time together now, writing songs and on the road.
Did they spend a lot of time running around backstage with kids? Or like, did you ever bring them on
Fun.
tour with you? I
I'm
was just,
sorry.
I was just saying, did you ever like when they were growing up, when they were much younger, were they like, did you take them on tour with you, or were they ever running around backstage? Or
No, they came. They flew out to a bunch of shows and everything. Yeah, and I think I had my eldest boy Todd. I think he he teched for me on one or two shows. But yeah, they came to loads of Motorhead shows when they could. But it's not the same as spending like quality time. It's not the same as being home with your family, really.
no, no.
But they had a good time.
Is it you mentioned changing the band's name? What was the original name?
It was called Phil Campbell's All Star Band. I don't know who came up with that, and then the boys came up with it wasn't nothing to do with me. The boys came up with the Bastard Sons, so I
It's
thought,
prob-
yeah, why not? I thought we probably won't get much radio play, but we actually do. They just don't say the word bastard. They say
yeah.
Phil. A lot of them, some of them do, but a lot of the mainstream radio things, they just say Phil Campbell and the boys. Everyone knows what they're talking about.
I mean, it's probably a good thing that your sons were the ones to come up with the term "the bastard sons" and not you.
Yeah, it wasn't me, honestly. No, I would never have thought of come up with that. No.
Mate, looking back, obviously you played Motorhead for several decades. If you had to pick a favorite year of your career, what would it be and why?
Favorite what?
A favorite year or even period, if you just wanted
I
to.
don't know. It was all really good.
Yeah.
Actually, it was all. it was just getting better and better and better all the time. We were pretty pretty successful when we finished Motorhead at the end, and it was all a privilege just to be able to go around the world, in a kick-ass rock and roll band, and get well paid for it and everything. It was great.
It's crazy, isn't it, when you think to how much Motorhead kind of penetrated the psyche of the world. I mean, my son, when he was 3, had a Motorhead shirt. They don't make kids shirts for just any band. Like there was, a real cultural importance to Motorhead. What?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the band is just different, and it was an honest band.
Yeah.
It's music that anyone could play, really. But they had so much energy, I think, and I think that's why people respect it a lot. And we getting older fans bringing their kids to the shows now. We used to in the Motorhead days as well, but this they bring in their young kids to the shows. They get younger all the time. We're bringing 6, 7-year-olds to the gigs and everything. And I guess it was a unique rock and roll band, I think, and that's why we're respected so much worldwide, I think.
Looking back over your upbringing, what were the albums that changed your life? What did you hear and it just blew you away and had a massive influence on you?
A live album called Hendrix in the West. It was deleted for many years, but then they put it back out. I borrowed that off my cousin, I think, when I was, I don't know, 12 or something, like 10, 12. I don't really know. I couldn't believe the sounds that Hendrix was making on the guitar then. So that was great, and Led Zeppelin 2 and Master of Reality, Sabbath and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So they blew my head off. And bands like Gentle Giant and Focus,
Yeah.
and Todd Rundgren and stuff.
Nice.
It
So,
was quality music in them days, not like some of the crap that's passes for music these days with all the what do you call it, the auto tunes and all that crap. It's pretty sickening having to sit through a load of that. Even if it's on the TV and you haven't bought a ticket for it, you just got to change the channel.
there's only so much of it you can stand, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Mate, you're coming down here to Australia for the first time with the Bastard Sons. How has your experience with Australia been over the years?
Well, great. We came down 3 times with Motorhead. I think the late 80s, sometime in the 90s, and then in the 2000s, probably, I think, with Motley Crue. That was the last time. But it's been great. I remember the first time we landed in, I think it was Melbourne. It was like Beatlemania for us. There's about 100 kids at the airport waiting for us. And then 2 weeks later, then we were playing on at the Bombay Rock on the Gold Coast. There was 12 people in attendance. So I'll never forget that. And the night before, we played about 10 miles down the road from where we had 1,000 people. I think it was 1,000 people we had at the Bombay Rock. And then we travelled to the next gig about 30 minutes away. And then we had 12 people. So we must have really sucked at the Bombay Rock.
Did you play your heart out for those 12 people, though?
Yeah, and I remember, and getting some of the hotels we stayed at, the woman would tap with a serving hatch and give you mushrooms on toast through the serving hatch, and there'd be kangaroos bouncing about in the field outside. Just wonderful stuff.
Mate, after all these years of experience, what are your tips for surviving on the road? What should no musician leave home without?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I'm a bit deaf.
I had to lean back. What are your tips for surviving on the road? What should no musician leave without?
Uh, have a sense of humor and don't do anything too stupid. Don't get hammered before you go on stage.
Mm.
I'm a right one to say that because we were always drinking and doing all sorts of Motorhead days, but we did manage our gigs. But I don't drink anymore. I haven't drunk now for about 7 years.
Hmm.
But the boys enjoy a beer and a couple of glasses of wine and that. But yeah, just enjoy it, enjoy your music. Don't get into the business thinking you're going to be a huge success because only a small percentage of people are lucky enough to be successful. But enjoy it should be a priority, and then hopefully, if you're enjoying it, it'll rub off on other people, and just keep doing it as long as you enjoy it, and see where it takes you. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not gonna if you don't enjoy it, you hate it, it's pointless doing it because it's horrible if you don't want to go on a road. So, and
Yeah.
you have to want to be there.
Mate, what was it like the first when obviously the band came together? What was it like the first time you played a Motorhead song without Lemmy?
Oh, very strange,
Yeah.
very strange. I mean, it's still a bit weird to this day occasionally. Yeah, like, I'd be in the middle of a song and the thoughts will come back to Lem and the boys and Filthy and Wurzel and that. But you just get through it. Try and make them proud as you can.
I love it, mate. Um, Phil, thank you very much for your time today, dude. I really appreciate it, and yeah, mate. I really hope it goes well, and I would love to bump into you in Brisbane. So hopefully, I can see you. Have a
Yeah,
great day,
we're really looking forward to coming down. Yeah, and kicking some ass down
mate.
for you Aussies. It would be
I
great
love
fun.
it.
All right.
Easy, Phil. Thank you very
Okay,
much for
Tom.
your
Nice,
time, mate.
nice talking to you again. All the
You
best,
too.
mate.
See you, mate. Bye.
Yeah, bye bye.